Excellency, the Governor General, Sir Tapley Seaton, Honorable Wendy Phipps, Senator and Minister in the Ministry of Health et al., Cabinet Secretary, Mrs. Josephine Huggins, Permanent Secretary, Mr. Osmond Petty, Commander, Colonel Patrick Wallace, Commissioner of Police, Ian Quealy, all other officers of the High Command of the Security Forces, recruits, family members, special invitees, all. Of course, our father, Canon Isaac, I bid all welcome. I want to begin by congratulating all the recruits who are passing out this afternoon and the excellent parade which they put on for us. Could we give them a round of applause? In my view, they have achieved extremely high standards in their turnout, their drill, and bearing. I am advised that of the original 42 potential soldiers, only 28 made it to the end. So these 28 are very special. They endured 4 months of strenuous military training, and they're here standing, indicating their readiness for service. Let us give them another round of applause. We have heard that during the course overview that the training consisted of traditional military subjects, including military law, physical training, field craft, and minor tactics and weapons training. There were also non-military topics, including time management. We heard of money management and dealing with peer pressures. We can say, therefore, that the course will assist them in becoming competent soldiers as well as well-rounded persons generally. I therefore want to congratulate the training staff of the St. Kitts and Nevis Defence Force, and indeed Commander Wallace, and their commitment and attention to detail. Let's give all the trainers a round of applause. Without the quality instruction given by the cadre of persons who provide leadership in the course, these men and women who are here would not have achieved what the course had intended for them. I am quite aware that military service is a life of uncompromising standards and one of sacrifice. And one of the speakers before me made mention of that reality. I want to encourage all of the recruits here standing to hold fast to the good ideals and the professional standards to which you are exposed through this particular training. The history, tradition, and reputation of the St. Kitts Nevis Defence Force, combined with the quality of the course and the demanding nature of the training which the recruits have undergone, should give us all great confidence that these young citizens would join the more seasoned and experienced soldiers in the Defence Force. We are proud of all these recruits, proud that they had the courage to persevere and the courage to succeed. And we are very happy to be able to congratulate them for their service. I listened to the words of Canon Isaiah, in which he reflected upon the security environment and the need for us as a people to become more serious about security and to remember that security begins with each and every one of us, and that the burden of law enforcement must not rest solely with the security agencies of the state, but it rests equally on each and every one of us. I want to adopt his message because very often when we have these graduations, we hear all the goodwill and the nice expressions of support. But at this particular juncture, the country and the society requires more from each of us. He is right that in the context of our small country, we have to make a very conscious effort to ensure that we are doing our part. That if we truly are in support of the security officers, we stand by them and with them each and every day. We stand by them giving support as they perform the most difficult tasks at which every day they may be called upon to put their lives at risk to maintain public safety and security. When they are making that great sacrifice, we ask ourselves, what are we doing? What information we have from our own connections in the communities in which criminal behavior is taking place and which we are not yet sharing with the very security forces who we say we salute and who we commend. By not reporting what we see, we are putting the lives of our security officers at greater risk than is necessary. And that is why I took particular note. And I would hope, Father Canon, that the message you brought today, you will take it repeatedly to the many churches which forms part of the flock which you shepherd. Because it is a critically important message for people to hear, for people to adopt, and for people to live. The responsibility for the maintenance of law and order lies with each of us, and being proactive about it, the life which we may save may end up being our very own. It is therefore not a favor that you are doing the police, not a favor that you are doing the defense force when you report upon crimes which are taking place. It is a favor that you are doing for yourselves and for your country. So again, I think that that is an important message which bears repeating over and over as we attempt to take stock of where we are and recognize that we want a better future, and most importantly, that we have to work hard to consecrate the future. So that point, again, is an important one. Certainly as a civilian, I can say that the moral component of defense, that which instills the will of a soldier and the ability to endure and overcome hardship, is not widely understood outside of the military. But it is something that I have come to appreciate in my role of Minister of National Security over the last 22 months or thereabouts, as I became more immersed in the work of the security forces and had a better appreciation of the challenges they face as they conduct targeted operations in some of the crime hotspots. And we heard in some of the remarks before me that these men who today and women are graduating have spent time doing real law enforcement work, that they have been in the Keyon community, they have been in the Sandy Point community, and certainly they have been elsewhere in the country, assisting the police and assisting other law enforcement agencies in the maintenance of public safety and security. And I want us to give them a round of applause in appreciation of their contribution. It is easy to forget in this time of rapid technological development that delivering military effect is not just about the most advanced kit and equipment, important though that these are. It remains, as it always has been, fundamentally about people, the quality of them, the discipline they display, and the doctrine that dictates how we employ them. And that is why both Canon Father Isaac and the speakers before me talk about attributes of courage, of discipline, of fairness, which must undergird what it is our security officers will do. We know that it is people and how they are employed that will give us the qualitative edge over the criminal elements in our society. The caliber of persons like yourselves who are entering the defense force, the training you receive, the doctrine that guides you, and this team spirit that binds you together, that is the feeling of pride that you feel and display in belonging to the defense force, and your sense of identification with the ideals of the St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force become critical aspects of your behavior and conduct. Those qualities will become ever more vital in the years to come. In collaboration with the police and other entities in the security sector, the role of the Defense Force is not one of mounting military campaigns, but one in which you must always be in a high state of readiness, a high and capable contingent force able to respond to the unexpected. And as one speaker said, to be in a position to take advantage of opportunities that present themselves for you to perform well. The criminal elements are becoming more and more bold and unpredictable in their assaults on our communities, and our security forces must be able to meet such challenges and unexpected developments. And each time our security forces confront with lawless elements, our security forces must win. That is critically important in a law-abiding society. And this is what defines all law-abiding societies. They are those charged with the maintenance of law and order. And at all times, they must be able to do that, or else the state fails to be a functioning state. That is why we are advised that the most important function of the state is to keep the people safe. From that all things then flow, so that the legal arm in terms of law enforcement must be able at all times, whenever it confronts the illegal elements, to win the war on behalf of the people. That is why you are being trained. That is why you are being provided with resources. That is why, for example, we now have over $800,000 of vehicles at TDC to be handed over shortly to the Defense Force so that you can do your job well. And that is why we continue to make these investments, because we rely on you to assure us that the public safety and the public security will never be compromised under the leadership of our men and women in uniforms. I want to encourage all our security officers, and not just the recruits who are graduating, to strengthen their courage, their heroism, and their loyalty to our country. Be committed to building peace, stability, and the security of the state and society. Be committed to strengthen national unity, starting, of course, because unity, like charity, begins at home. So in the context of the Defense Force, we have to have unity among the officers of the force. We have to have unity in terms of the cooperation with the police, with the customs, so that we build the necessary bridges and infrastructure that protects our country. Yes, it is important that in all that we do as security officers, we adhere to the rule of law. We adhere to the rule of law. You must ensure compliance with the military regulations and discipline, vigilance, and continuous improvement of your knowledge, as well as a deep awareness of patriotism and devotion to country. Today, a very hard and intensive period of training comes to an end. Be sure to show appreciation to your instructors and mentors and peers. Your instructors and mentors have invested their precious time in you, imparting the skills and knowledge which will make you invaluable assets to the force, to the Federation, and to the region. Also, you should give your sincerest gratitude to your family and friends who gave you support, and this support, no doubt, helped you to graduate today. As Minister of National Security, I must add my gratitude to yours, to all those who helped to ensure that you can stand today as a proud soldier in our Defense Force. I can only imagine how hard it would have been for you to complete 4 months of physically and academically demanding training in the absence of your family and other loved ones. I was informed that a number of you excelled to the point where you will be receiving awards. I therefore want to give my own commendation to the finest performance and to ask those of us here to give them a round of applause as I call their names. The best student I'm advised is Richard X. Could we give that recruit a round of applause? The most disciplined recruit was Peters A. The recruit best at rifle was David K. The recruit best at pistol shot was recruit Burke. Best at drill, Nisbet D. Best at map reading and land navigation, Wilson A. Best at Field Craft and Minor Tactics, Richard X. Best at Physical Fitness, Life Rock, give that recruit a round of applause. The most improved student, David K. And the most dedicated student on the course was recruit Peters A. We congratulate all of them, however, for undertaking at this time to become members, or rather officers, of our Defense Force. And we thank them for the courage, which is the motto of the Defense Force. The courage to come forward, the courage to indicate a willingness to serve, the courage even in challenging times to say, yes we can and yes we will. And I want to wish them all the very best. The best that we have, we will offer to them to ensure that their tenure in service to the country is rewarding even as the demands become more exacting. So thank you very much, all the graduates. Thank you very much to parents, well-wishers who have given you support and who have come out today. To God be the glory. Merry Christmas and all the very best in your career. Thank you very much.